Lasagna. Just the word evokes warmth. It speaks of family dinners and the comforting aroma filling the house. This isn't just a recipe, it's a celebration of Italian tradition. Today we create a lasagna masterpiece together. We'll use fresh ingredients, we'll follow time-honored techniques, and I'll share some of my personal secrets. Get ready for a truly unforgettable culinary experience. The heart of any great lasagna is the filling. It's the soul of the dish, the element that brings everything together in a harmonious blend of flavors and textures. A well-made filling can elevate a simple lasagna to a culinary masterpiece. We will use a blend of ground beef and Italian sausage. This combination not only adds a robust flavor, but also a delightful texture that makes each bite a pleasure. This adds richness and depth of flavor. 1 pound ground beef, 1 pound Italian sausage, 1 onion chopped, 2 cloves garlic minced. These ingredients are the foundation of our filling, providing a savory base that will be enhanced by the other components. 1 28-ounce can crushed tomatoes. The tomatoes bring a natural sweetness and acidity that balance the richness of the meat. 1 15-ounce can tomato sauce. This adds a smooth, velvety texture to the filling, ensuring that every layer of the lasagna is moist and flavorful. 1 6-ounce can tomato paste, 1 teaspoon dried oregano. The tomato paste intensifies the tomato flavor, while the oregano adds a hint of earthiness. 1/2 teaspoon dried basil. Basil brings a sweet aromatic note that complements the other herbs and spices, and salt and pepper to taste. These simple seasonings enhance all the other flavors, bringing the dish to life. First, brown the beef and sausage in a large pot. This step is crucial as it develops the deep savory flavors that will permeate the entire dish. Drain off any excess grease. This ensures that the filling is rich but not overly greasy, maintaining a perfect balance. Add the onion and garlic. Cook until softened. The onions and garlic release their flavors, adding a sweet and pungent aroma that enhances the meat. Next, stir in the crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, oregano, and basil. This mixture creates a rich, flavorful sauce that will meld beautifully with the pasta and cheese. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Adjusting the seasoning at this stage ensures that the flavors are balanced and vibrant. Bring the sauce to a simmer. This allows the flavors to meld and develop, creating a complex and satisfying filling. Then reduce heat and let it cook for at least 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. This slow cooking process deepens the flavors, making the filling rich and hearty, perfect for layering in our lasagna. While the meat sauce simmers, make the bechamel sauce. This classic French sauce is a staple in many dishes, adding a rich and creamy texture that elevates the overall flavor profile. It's a versatile sauce that can be used in a variety of recipes, from lasagna to moussaka, and even as a base for other sauces like mornay or cheese sauce. It's a simple mixture of butter, flour, and milk. These 3 ingredients come together to create a smooth and velvety sauce that is both comforting and indulgent. The key to a perfect bechamel is in the technique, ensuring that the flour is cooked just enough to eliminate any raw taste while still maintaining a pale color. But it adds a luxurious creaminess to the lasagna. This creaminess not only enhances the texture, but also balances the acidity of the tomato sauce and the richness of the meat. It's the perfect complement to the layers of pasta, meat, and cheese, making each bite a harmonious blend of flavors. 1/2 cup unsalted butter, which provides the fat needed to create a smooth emulsion with the flour. Using unsalted butter allows you to control the seasoning of the sauce more precisely. 1/2 cup all-purpose flour, 4 cups milk, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/8 teaspoon ground nutmeg. The flour acts as a thickening agent, while the milk provides the liquid base. The salt enhances the overall flavor, and the nutmeg adds a subtle warmth and depth to the sauce. And 1/4 cup grated Parmesan cheese. The Parmesan cheese not only adds a savory umami flavor, but also helps to thicken the sauce slightly, giving it a richer consistency. In a saucepan, melt the butter over medium heat. It's important to melt the butter slowly to prevent it from burning, which can give the sauce a bitter taste. Whisk in the flour and cook for 1 minute. This step is crucial as it cooks out the raw taste of the flour and creates a roux, which is the base of the bechamel sauce. Gradually, whisk in the milk until smooth. Bring to a simmer. Adding the milk gradually helps to prevent lumps from forming, ensuring a smooth and creamy sauce. Bringing it to a simmer allows the sauce to thicken properly. Reduce the heat to low and simmer for 5 minutes, stirring frequently. This gentle simmering allows the flavors to melt together and the sauce to reach its perfect consistency. Season with salt, nutmeg, and Parmesan cheese. These final touches elevate the sauce, adding layers of flavor that make it truly special. The salt enhances the taste, the nutmeg adds a hint of spice, and the Parmesan brings a savory depth that ties everything together. Now for the fun part, layering the lasagna. This is where the magic happens, where each ingredient comes together to create a symphony of flavors and textures. The process of layering is not just about stacking ingredients. It's about building anticipation with every bite. Each layer adds a new dimension to the dish, making it more complex and delicious. We start with 12 lasagna noodles, cooked to al dente perfection. These noodles form the backbone of our dish, providing structure and a satisfying bite. The key is to cook them just right, so they hold their shape, but are tender enough to meld with the other ingredients. Next, we have one 15-ounce container of ricotta cheese. This creamy, slightly tangy cheese adds a rich, velvety texture to the lasagna. It's the perfect counterpoint to the hearty meat sauce and the tender noodles. We also need one 10-ounce package of frozen chopped spinach, thawed and squeezed dry. The spinach adds a pop of color and a burst of freshness to the dish. It's a great way to sneak in some extra vegetables without compromising on flavor. And don't forget one egg, which helps to bind the ricotta mixture together, giving it a light, fluffy texture. Half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese is next. This cheese adds a nutty, salty flavor that enhances the overall taste of the lasagna. It's a small amount, but it makes a big difference. And finally, half a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. This cheese melts beautifully, creating a gooey, cheesy top layer that everyone loves. It's the finishing touch that makes the lasagna irresistible. Before we start assembling, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. This ensures that the lasagna cooks evenly and the cheese melts perfectly. If you're using a Celsius oven, set it to 190 degrees. It's important to get the temperature right to achieve that perfect golden brown top. Now, let's start assembling. Spread a thin layer of meat sauce in the bottom of a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. This prevents the noodles from sticking and adds flavor to every bite. Top with a layer of noodles, making sure they cover the entire surface. This forms the base of our lasagna. In a bowl, combine the ricotta cheese, spinach, egg, and Parmesan cheese. Mix until well combined. This mixture will add a creamy, flavorful layer to our lasagna. Spread half of the ricotta mixture over the noodles. Then, sprinkle with mozzarella cheese. Repeat the layers, adding more meat sauce, noodles, and ricotta mixture. Each layer should be even and well distributed. Finish with a final layer of noodles, meat sauce, and mozzarella cheese. This top layer will become golden and bubbly in the oven, creating a delicious crust that seals in all the flavors. Now your lasagna is ready to bake. Enjoy the process and the delicious result. Section 5. Baking and resting. Patience is a virtue. Cover the lasagna with aluminum foil. Bake in the preheated oven for 30 minutes. Remove the foil and bake for an additional 15 minutes, or until the cheese is melted and bubbly. Let the lasagna rest for at least 15 minutes before cutting into it. This allows the layers to settle. It also prevents everything from oozing out when you cut into it. Section 6. Serving with style presentation matters. Lasagna is a rustic dish, but it can still be elegant. Cut the lasagna into squares. Serve each piece on a warm plate, garnish with fresh basil leaves, add a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. Now stand back and admire your creation. You've made a masterpiece. Section 7. Wine pairing suggestions. A culinary symphony. A delicious lasagna deserves an equally impressive wine pairing. A medium-bodied red wine like Chianti Classico is a classic choice. Its bright acidity cuts through the richness of the lasagna. For a white wine option, try a Vermentino. Its citrusy notes and minerality complement the flavors of the ricotta and spinach. Section 8. Tips and tricks from Nonna's kitchen. Here are a few extra tips to take your lasagna from good to amazing. Use high-quality ingredients. The better your ingredients, the better your lasagna will taste. Don't overcook the noodles. They should be al dente or firm to the bite. Let the lasagna cool slightly before cutting. This will help the layers hold their shape. Serve with a simple salad and some crusty bread. Section 9. Conclusion. Buon appetito! Congratulations! You've made it to the end of our lasagna making adventure. Remember, cooking is about more than just following a recipe. It's about creating something special, something to share with the people you love. So gather your family and friends, pour yourself a glass of wine, and savor every bite of your homemade lasagna. Buon appetito!